Hi gang, how are you? It's good to see you all again. Today we're going to make fish and chips. Some of you had asked about ways to cook fish. This is a really easy way to give your family a fish and chip dinner without all the fancy deep frying fatty stuff. Nice easy meal that I learned how to make when I worked in a high school kitchen. Every Friday we had fish and chips. This was how they did it. It was my favorite day to work. It is, once you get the potatoes cut and parboiled, then you pop them in the oven, you come back, you bread your fish, pop it in the oven, and boom, everything is done super fast. So, we talked last week about how to cut the potatoes. I showed you how to do that. So what I went ahead and did already, I've cut them all, and I have partially cooked them. Your recipe talks about cutting them up, cooking them in salted water for 3 or 4 minutes. And so that's what it looks like in the salted water. We're going to drain those off. What this does is it makes them, they absorb a little bit more of the oil, which makes them nice and crispy. Salt, of course, adds flavor. So then we're going to drizzle them with a bit of oil, just like that. Toss them around in the pan. And put a little more salt, because, I think salt belongs in everything, and French fries without salt is just, no, can't go there. Then we're going to put them on a baking sheet. I have this one lined with a silicone liner that I got. I picked that up at Costco, but parchment paper works really well too. That's what we're going to put the fish on. Parchment paper, you can get it at the dollar store. It makes it clean up so much easier, nothing sticks. It's a great thing to have in your kitchen. So these are gonna go in an oven, which I have preheated to 425 degrees. They go in there to get started, and then we get going on the fish. So, put the pot out of the way. Now, I like to add a little bit of flavor to the fish. So I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of hot sauce, which you can put in or not put in. It's up to you. I like to just give it a little like this. If you don't want your kids, if they don't like spicy stuff, then you can skip this step. If they do, then that works too. Now, I'm going to smear it around a little bit so it gets all over the fish. But you'll notice I'm really not using a lot. It just gives it a little more flavor. If you have barbecue sauce, you can do that. Or nothing. Okay? Then season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to let the pepper over here. Now, here comes the messy part, but it's still super easy. We're gonna do a flour egg coating. This is panko. It's breadcrumbs, but you can see they're kind of big and coarse, which makes a really nice crispy coating on your fish. When you're breading something, you always put flour first. So we're going to dip the fish in the flour. The reason you do that is because it gives the egg something to stick to. And then you put it in egg because that gives the breadcrumbs something to stick to. That is all you have to do. So a little bit of flour, bit of egg, breadcrumbs, panko. Okay, back onto the pan. Flour. This is dinner for my family tonight. So we like fish and chips like this. You can get your fingers in there if you need to. It's kind of a messy job. So flour, egg, breadcrumbs. You can use a bigger plate if you've got it. Clearly, I might have considered that. Flour, egg, breadcrumbs. Now, another one here. Flour, egg. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, eh? Breadcrumbs. I'm gonna wash my fingers because I need to load up again. So we're gonna put a little more flour in the plate. Crack in another egg. Like that. Just beat it on the plate. Or you can beat it up in a bowl. Whatever you're most comfortable with. Just like that. And then we go back to the flour, egg, breadcrumbs. Whoopsie. I should have loaded up the panko too. I'm gonna do that before my hands get too nasty. Panko just comes in a bag like this. You've got a box of it. You can use it for lots of other things. You can bread chicken. You can use it to stretch ground beef. When you're making, if you make meatloaf, maybe we'll make a meatloaf. Let me know if that's something you think you would like to make. And back into the breadcrumbs. Flour, almost done. Breadcrumbs. Oops, same. Okay. There's that. And last piece. Give that a shake to settle it. Okay. Now, that goes like that. Get your hands cleaned up again. At this point, you can check your French fries. We'll pull them out of the oven. Give them a little toss. When you open the oven door, try not to let all the heat into your face, fog your glasses. So these are going to need a few more minutes, I think, before we put the fish in. But I'm going to go ahead and put the fish in anyway, just so you can watch me do it. But, you know, I mean, they're cooked. You can see that because they're falling apart a little bit. But you want them brown and crispy. That's what a hot oven and oil will do. So that goes in there like that. Now your fish, we're going to pop it in. These pieces, this is cod. It's fairly thin. It shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes. Anything more than that and you're going to overcook it. You want your fish to flake really easily. You don't want it overcooked. So I'm going to pop that in the oven too. And then, thanks to the magic of television and the fact that I did a little test run beforehand, I'm just going to give this a wipe. And I will pull out the one that I did already. So this is what it comes out of the oven. You can see they're nice and brown. The fish is nice and brown. This is how you can see it flakes very easily, just like this. And see, it's nice and flaky. It's white all the way through. So that tells you that the fish is cooked. Your fries are nice and crisp, a little bit brown. You can leave the fries in a little bit longer if you want to get them almost to this point and then put the fish in. That'll work just fine too. So serve that with a nice slice of fresh lemon if you've got it. You can make a quick tartar sauce. I give you a quick idea as to how to make that. Tartar sauce is really traditional if you go to a fish and chip joint. And yeah, let me know if your family enjoys it, okay? Take care. See you next week.